guys, welcome to 2020, and this will be the official or the first video I'll be making in 2020. And I would like to say that this 2020, I want to really dedicate so much attention to YouTubing, to making lots of YouTube videos. I mean, I created my YouTube account years ago, and I have not really been that active on it. 2019, I tried to force myself to really put attention to it and some seriousness, and I did my best to an extent. But 2020, I want to be very, very active. And YouTube, Instagram, I'm going to be very active. So, first and first, if this is the first time you're checking out this channel, click the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. Then also you can check down, you can read through the description. I would put my Instagram account. I want to be very active on YouTube and Instagram, so I'm going to put my Instagram handle there. Follow it. So 2020, three things I would want to really achieve for for myself and for you guys out there. One, relationship. Two, leveraging. Then three, influence. And when I mean relationship, I don't mean like marriage relationship and some other things, but explaining how you can build relationships with people of influence, with people, the right sets of people, um how you can also leverage on them, then also use it to build influence. But my theme for 2020 is process. All these things takes process. Before you can even say you want to build relationship with people, you must have something that would be in sync with whatever they are also bringing on the table. That means before you say you want to build a relationship with someone, you have value. So it's all like a chain reaction, it's all process. You don't just jump to the end. I preached this last year. When I love using the word preach. That means I have been shouting, shouting, shouting. I've been screaming, screaming on top of my lungs. I about process, like towards the end of last year. That was December. But this year I'm going to really dissect what process is. Youth unemployment is very, very high. And if you're a Nigerian, which of course I know a lot of my audience will be Nigerians at first, Nigerian, African, youth unemployment is high. It's just too much. And we can't just find we would want to say we want to blame the government for our predicament or for our situation. Yes, we have all the rights to blame them, but at the same time we cannot just blame them and sit down. We need to do stuff for ourselves too. So um the ball is in our court. That's all I'll have to say. The ball is in their court. We are waiting for them. We're trying to take actions. We're waiting for them to take actions to help us. At the same time, we also need to play this ball. We also need to kick. We also need to strategize. We also need to do the right things. We also need to come up with the right structures, the right systems, the right moves to make, and some other things like that. So if you're here, if you're an undergraduate, if you're a graduate, if you're um, unemployed, if you're seeking employment, whichever category you fall into, this is the right channel for you. Share, like I said, subscribe, share with friends. I'll be dishing out content. I've been writing on Facebook for a long time, and I was able to build a very good audience on Facebook. And I'm thinking of, yeah, I moved down to LinkedIn, built also an audience on LinkedIn, now active on YouTube. And I'm not going to be making very, very long YouTube videos so that it would be watchable, like if that word is correct, so that you guys will be able to watch the videos. I understand that data is an issue. When I mean data is an issue, I'm not saying that you guys don't subscribe a lot. I believe Nigerians do subscribe a lot, but it's for different reasons. I think probably for entertainment purposes alone, which shouldn't be so. When it comes to learning, we don't really spend so much to learn, which is another issue, which is some of the things I'm going to be teaching, how you can break free from all this mediocre mentality, what you need to do as a youth, where you need to learn, how you can um, stay on top of your skill in your profession, how you can understand what is going on in the world of work, and sync yourself with it. So all these things are things I'll be explaining with very, very useful topics, with useful captions, with useful insights too. I'll tell you where you get jobs and some other stuff like that. So that's that. I think the highest, the maximum length for the videos I'll be making will be 10 minutes, but it will be within 8 to 10 minutes. The minimum will be 8 minutes. And by editing and doing whatever structure I need to put in place for it, I don't think it will be very, very large. It shouldn't be more than if uploaded to YouTube 8 minute video using, I'm not even using a very I'm using my phone camera. The camera is good anyways. I'm not using a high lens camera, so it's not going to really take so much space. Let's say like something like 15 MB. Yeah, 15 12 MB. It's something, it's just 12 MB, for crying out loud. You need to first understand that. And that's the same thing with process. Let me just really give a simple definition of process. Process is just you respecting structure. To get a job, you need to have a CV, and your CV needs to contain some things. So your CV needs to contain that you actually have some skill sets, some experience, and some other things. And to have those skill sets, you need to learn them too as well. Let me try to bend this a little bit. Yeah. Or should I? Let me move this back. All right. So it's cool. Okay. So that's it. And to build skills, you need to learn them. To learn them means you need to sacrifice time, you need to sacrifice money, you need to sacrifice effort, and some other things like that, dedication, and other things like that. So it's all like a chain reaction. I call it three things. I will share the link to, I wrote a write up on that. It's titled Process in 2020. The law of chain reaction, the law of karma, and Isaac Newton new law, which I invented. The law of karma is whatever you do, you get the result. It's just simple. So if you learn a skill, the result is that you have experience. The result of having experience is that you can now build a CV or a resume. The result of that is that you have higher chances of getting a job than someone that does not have. It's just simple. The law of Isaac Newton law, second law, is that to every action there is equal but opposite reaction, if I'm very correct. So to every reaction there has been an action. That's just like the reverse way. That's why I say Isaac. That's why I said Isaac Newton law. To every reaction there has been an action. To every job gotten, there had been an action. Probably a request for a job. A job. People don't get jobs they don't apply for. You understand that? I believe you should understand that. And yeah, what do you think about this background? I Whatever you feel about the background, I wanted to give it in the comment section. I try to like use this background. I think this is what I'll be using basically. What do you think about the video quality? I need your um responses to as well, like a comment, in order for me to know how best to like sitting down. Is it good? I'm trying to make gestures and the lighting. What else? Whatever comments you have, just give me so that I would work on it against the next video. And I'm still trying to learn, put my hands on Filmora, the video editing software I will be using for this. I'm trying to make it as interactive and simple as possible. I still have just very little knowledge about it. So sit tight to this YouTube channel. Put it on subscribe. Put it on notification. I'll be making very, 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 very insightful um, videos on different things, self-development, career skills. I understand all those. I've been able to help people. Not to exaggerate, I've been able to help hundreds of youths directly and indirectly on self development and some other things like that. And I've been able to help myself too as well. It has worked for me. I've been able to get jobs through LinkedIn that people don't know how to get jobs. People complain LinkedIn is boring and some other things like that. I find LinkedIn to be interesting, but at first it was boring. I went to watch YouTube videos, and in order to understand how to go about LinkedIn, just learn, just spend time to understand whatever questions you have. Visit Google. Google is there. Ask questions, use Quora and some other things like that. So subscribe, put it on notification, follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. This year I decided to also put more focus on my Twitter handle, and what I want to be sharing them mostly is on business development based entrepreneurial building. I want to change the narrative of entrepreneurship in Africa. I have people I'm learning from too as well. And I believe you can also learn a lot from me. The definition of entrepreneurship in Africa is messed up. People just build business for short-term purposes without having long-term plans. There are no structures in place and some other things like that, which are the things I'll be sharing with good insight and some other stuff. So it's nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you. If this is the first time, I am Ajayi Joel, and I hope we will get to enjoy 2020 together and push ourselves towards the limits. Like we push ourselves beyond our limits, beyond the boundaries, and some other things like that. So enjoy your day, and How many times would you want me to make videos in a week? I've been thinking of 3 times. I've been thinking of every day. Every day might sound too much. 3 times is okay. See you next time.